Hi guys, good morning. It is Halloween. It's been 2 weeks since I have done a floss tube, and you're very welcome to listen to me blather on about cross stitch for a little while. My name is Emily. I'm Crafty Emily here on Flosstube, and I finally have a day off as usual with me. Blah blah blah, same old nonsense. I've been working a lot. I only got one day off last week. And the week before that was pretty full on. We had a very big do, 320 dinners to get out, so I had my task in all of it was to peel the parsnips, the carrots and the Swedes, and produce 640 portions of each. There's a little clippy here of the never ending boxes. Anyway, yeah, so I've been working a lot. I have been stitching, but I haven't had very much time in the light where I could record. So I've been getting on, but yeah. So I am a cross stitcher and I've got cross stitch to show you. So I've only worked on, as far as I can gather, I've got 5 pieces to show you. And I've probably I haven't mislaid one. First and foremost is my treasure hunt bookshelf, and it being the last day of the month, I have reached my goal. I am at 6%. Now this is a supersized max colour version. It's going to be enormous, and I've given myself 10 years. So I am 6 months in to my 10-year plan, and I am at 6%. So I'll put a picture here of where it was looking the last time I recorded. And right now today, not in a Q-snap because I'm not working on it today, I will work on it tomorrow. It looks like this. So that is 6%. So basically where I've been working, if I can sort my arm out here, is here. I've been working on this bit here. I found a star. I'm going to fill in the star next. And I found a red thing, and yeah, I've been getting on. So what I'd like to do in the next month, my next 1%, which is 7,220 stitches to do, I'm going to fill in this star, fill in whatever this red thing is, fill in this here, and I'm going to try and get the sails in here as my confetti bit. Now every month with 7,000 stitches you need to find a big block where you can just bang in 1,000 stitches and not batter. Because this is max colour, the confetti is madness. Yes, it gives you almost photographic quality, but the confetti is bananas. You can see I've still got gaps where I'm still filling in little odd bits and pieces. So I'm going to fill in some confetti. So I try and do a couple of thousand confetti stitches, and then I'll bang in some bulk each month. Sorry, my eyes are going everywhere because I've got my tablet the other way around. Normally I look this side, that's where the camera is, but today my camera is that side because I've got my tablet twisted round because it's on charge. So I'm looking in the wrong place to look at the camera. I'm sorry if my eyes are like looking a bit strange. So November, I'm only going to go for my same 1%. I thought about just seeing how many stitches I could get in a month if I just concentrated on this. But I'm happy with the way I'm progressing on this. Yes, it's going to take me a very, very long time, but that was always the plan. Treasure hunt bookshelf. 1% in the month. Perfect. Then I have got opening gambit, which is currently at 82%. Now this I do want done. So I'm going to try and concentrate a little bit more on this month. So it looked like this the last time I recorded. I haven't put in masses, not masses, but right now it looks, that same bit here looks like this. So I've done his outline. Last night I put in 2 butterflies, the head of this dog and the outline of this dog. So if I am sitting in the car, I don't need the pattern to fill in. I know I'm leaving myself gaps, but I know I can just fill in. But that's what I've got left to do. Just that bit, and then I'll go back and back stitch. So this is glorious. Obviously it's a long dog sampler. It's called Opening Gambit, and It's wonderful, and I'm doing it on a piece of Be Stitch Me Berry Cobbler. It is crystal, so it sparkles. It does not affect how you stitch at all. It just, your needle just slides through. It's wonderful. I love the crystal fabrics. I love the effect they give, and I really like stitching on them. It's Lugana. I think it is 32 count. I'm doing it 2/2 DMC 3808, and I'd like to finish it, but it's 5,000 stitches still to go, which is a lot. So I'm going to have a good batter on at doing it and getting it done. Sorry, that bloody mallet's annoying me. It's in my line of sight. So I'm going to try and get that a bit more done. Also, in the last fortnight, I've put in a little bit of work on my Lola Crow What the Cat Saw. If I've got a picture on my reel, I'll put it here. And it is now there. So I finished the window frame, and I filled in a bit. I'm just filling in a bit of the sky here. I unpicked the wallpaper. I need to pick a couple of colours to put the wallpaper in a colour that's going to show. This isn't a lot of stitching. I thought this was not very much done at all. I've looked at my pattern keeper, and it's actually uploaded the pattern 4 times. So it's like one there that I'm actually filling in, and then there's 1, 2, 3. So whatever I thought I was at like 12%, and it was a quarter. So I'm getting on with him. It does go right up to, where did I frog? There. It'll be a square about that sort of size. So even though it is full coverage, it is pretty dinky. So I have a big blue bottle in here. I've got some dozy blue bottles in my house that are very easy to squash if you can get them against the surface. Anyway, What the Cat Saw, it's Lola Crow. You get her on Etsy. There's loads of these. They're little full coverages. If you've not done a full coverage before, highly recommend. They're little, they're neat, they're fun. So there's that. Also put a few stitches, picture coming up here, on my Renato Parolin. Here I have filled in his back, and I think I've done the little squirrel. I've done these 2 baby deer, and I've started on the other deer, and that's halfway down that line. It's actually been folded in half there, so you can see really clearly. So I'm actually on the second half of it now, and I think there's just a couple of birds that go in there. This is going to be a big oval. It's going to be a pillow. I've shown it loads of times before. My needle minders have collected themselves. Unclick, please. There. So it'll be an oval. I will finish it as a pillow eventually. Every now and again I'll just put a few stitches into that. So I started something new, Kel Surprise. Now, those of you who've watched me for a while know the struggle I had with my treasure hunt bookshelf, my old treasure hunt bookshelf. There might be a picture here of my disastrous, or I might even insert a small video of it. I think I have a small video of it. I'm going to just pause and restart just in case. So here's my original start, which was 2/2 on this awful Ada, and I was not happy with it, so I started it again. Look, I'm going to show you the 2/2 here. It was so thick, so awful. My first ever go at full coverage on this awful thick Ada, and it was rigid. Wasn't ever happy. So I restarted it, and I'm just going to put them side by side so you can see the difference between the 2/2 and the 1/2 in the front there. You can see how much the coverage is different, but it was still awful to stitch on. I've taken the volume off the video, but it's like scratchy and nasty. It's almost plastic, I think, the Ada. It was cheap off eBay. That coffee mark actually didn't come out when I washed it. This is wet fabric after it's been in the washing machine. Right, so just getting out of this bag. Oh, there's a little bunny. We'll talk about him later. there's my dye on navy blue, and we're going to cut into the dye bath next. Here we go. So quite early in the morning, there's a dye bath of navy blue dye, and we say goodbye to 2 sad starts on a piece of hateful fabric, and in it goes. Now, as you can see, it's not very, when I start poking at it, the dye was not very dark, and it took a long time to get into what I think has to be quite a heavy poly cotton Aida. Just cheap and nasty. Oh dear, paper straw's not really doing the job here, is it? Just trying to get it all poked underneath. Oh, not quite, there we go. And I left it to soak. That just makes editing so much easier for me. I can't tell you how much easier it is if I've stopped the video and I can just insert rather than splice, because I'm not very good. Anyway, Treasure Hunt Bookshelf was on a piece of really cheap, nasty, awful white Aida. And this is not my max colour, this is my original start. Do you want to see what my original start now looks like? I'm going to show you, so. There it is. Can you see what I did? There is my original. Oh yeah, you can just about see the shooting star there and the leaves. There is my original start. That's what happens when you dye DMC. I think this has been over dyed. My other start, because of course I didn't start it once, I started it twice, and I did a lot more on the second time. It was 5% done. Is there. Same corner, much darker. Same corner of I don't even know if you can see, but there's stitching all the way down. Yeah, and there's some stitching there. You can see bits of stitching, and you can see a new start. Right, so I decided that this fabric was hopeless, awful, bad to the touch, and I found a picture that I wanted to stitch specifically as a gift. I've got a funny thing here. It is a burn. I dropped something into the, oh my god, it wasn't the deep fat fire. I made jam at work. Observe my hand. Lava. So we've got a big industrial, I will get back to my story. Big industrial hob at work, hot plate that you can put probably 8 pans on. Right, I had one with apple and berry jam, and it was bubbling away furiously, and I stirred it, and in stirring it, it literally did lava. It came up and went so one landed there and on my hand, which is particularly nice. The blister burst yesterday, and oops, it's not sore at all, don't worry. And I went, ow, that really hurt. I had the spoon in my hand. I went, ow, that really hurt, and threw the spoon sort of like skimming a rock. So the jam on the spoon went splat. So I had a really sticky kitchen that I had to clear up really well. Anyway, I did. The jam is delicious. I've set it in 1 ounce jars, which is what we give with our scones. Well, scones, we sell a lot of scones at the clubhouse, so I make scones every day, or Richard makes scones every day, and we give a little jar of jam and 2 little pats of butter with it. So now the jam is going to be jam. The apples are from the golf course. There's apple trees all over the golf course, so I keep being given bags of apples. So I made apple and berry jam, and I've made apple jelly, which has come out the palest apricot colour. It's really beautiful. And I've also got juice dripped through, you know, like when you make jelly, you drip it through a jelly bag. I've got juice which is apple and blackberry, so I'll make apple and blackberry jelly as well. But not today, because I'm not at work today. Next time I'm not busy. So yeah, lava hand. Yeah, oh no, I was noticing that. That's actually a little burn on my lip. It really hurt too. That's the first time I've seen it, because you obviously look at yourself while you record. Back to my fabric. So I thought the only thing I can do with this fabric is dye it. Well, actually Marcia suggested I dye it, and it was a very good suggestion, and I have. So first thing I did, I shoved it in the washing machine because I mean this Ada was stiff. We've all had a kit with the stiff Ada, not Zweigart, that softens and turns to butter. No, this was like trying to stitch on greaseproof paper. It was awful, which is why I gave up. It's essentially why I gave up on the treasure hunt bookshelf. But now I have restarted a supersized max colour, much happier with that. Happy end to the story. So I had this piece of Ada, and it was just sitting there. So I shoved it in the washing machine. I washed it. I tumble dried it. By the way, washing and tumble drying white Ada with DMC, perfect. It came out of the washing machine, perfect. Came out of the tumble dryer, perfect. The coffee stain was still there, but if it had been full coverage, it would have covered it. Anyway, so I don't know if I've got bits and clips of this. If I have, I will put them up here of me dyeing this fabric. And then I dipped my white piece of fabric with stitching on it into a vat of navy blue dye. So I over dyed it navy blue, which actually came out that kind of colour. That's not a bad representation. It's slightly bluer. And then I mottled it with black, and it was beautiful, and it looked a bit like this. The colour's a bit bluer. I took the picture in the dark, so it kind of came out like that. Now I thought that was perfect until I pulled the pattern and put some of the colours. I did a bit of a floss drop, and I dyed the fabric exactly the same colour as the pattern, so the pattern would have been lost. So the pattern I'm doing, I will make sure I've got the right, is from Etsy, Silver X Stitches. It says Cambridgeshire, that's nice. So I'll put that along here. It's got some lovely patterns. It is full coverage, and it looks like this, and it's called Moon Dragon, I think. It was literally £7 or £8 for the, I can actually tell you exactly how much it was. It was £7.80. £7.80, which is what, $8? Not a lot. The pound has risen a little bit to the dollar. Oh yes, since I last spoke to you, the UK has completely churned. We've got Rishi now as the Prime Minister, who I think probably should have been the Prime Minister, and Liz should never have gone near it. But all's well that ends well. Fingers crossed things get better, and the damage that Liz wrought is controllable now. I'm quite happy with Rishi being Prime Minister. I think he did a bloody good job through COVID. He was our Chancellor through COVID, and he brought in furlough. He sorted all of that out, and basically people like me who work on a very low, I do a lot of hours at low wage, the furlough scheme kept my family afloat. So, you know, hats off to him, and very welcome as our Prime Minister, which I'm hoping will make things a lot more stable. We will see. Anyway, yes, we've had a big change, which was obvious. I think my last one I was like, it's not going to work. So, anyway, yeah, UK is fun times. Not really. Anyway, so here's my pattern, and I realised I'd got exactly the same colour floss as fabric. So I then used all of my black dye. Now I buy powder dye from Dylon. It dyes. This is not cotton. It's still not very nice. It is so much better, but it is not very nice. So this is not cotton. So you need dye that will dye synthetic. So I did. I got Dylon black, and I'd used a little bit to over dye it and mottle it up, and it was very, very pretty. It would have taken a bold colour like bright red or lava orange. I'm lava at the moment, really well, but it wasn't what I wanted for this piece of fabric, so I over dyed it time and a half with black. And what I've got now is a kind of a, that's where I didn't fold it. That's where I folded it. You can see what it was kind of like, the mottling, but that is exactly the same colour as the pattern. So it's now kind of very, very midnight blue. It's not got the purple tone in it that it's showing. But where I folded it and put it in the box, I have fold lines. So to fit the pattern on with the moon, I basically made a cardboard frame the size of the picture, and I placed it where the dragon would cover the lighter parts. And this is its placement. And I've actually got bits of Scotch tape on because obviously it's black. So that's where I am, and you can see the light bit running through it, but that bit there, where it's the lightest bit there, that's where the whole body of the dragon is going to be. So that bit will be covered as best I can, and there's just a little bit mottling coming out. But it is mottly. You can see the fabric's mottled. But this very light bit here, where you can see where I folded it to fit it into the plastic box, and I did unfold it and scrunch it and dye it, but I wanted it kind of flat dyed, but I got gaps. You can see exactly what I did. And of course, because I'd rinsed it, I had already, there, look, you can see where I folded it into pieces. Disclaimer, I am not a professional dyer. Who knew? Anyway, I placed it really carefully on this fabric. I'm not going to use the fabric for anything else ever. Once this is done, it's done. So when I'd placed it, I've gridded partly. I'd started gridding on that side of the fabric and then decided that this side was better for the placement. The other side is prettier, but this side is better for the placement because I can get the dragon sitting, the moon and the dragon sits here. Now it's quite big, it's going to fill to about there. I'm going to grid with the Gutermann filament as I go. So everywhere I actually need help with gridding, I'm gonna need to put some grids in here, go up a bit there and come across so I know where I am. So here is the end of the moon and here is the end of the nose. So what I'm trying to do is go this way, and then I'm going to do it like that, so that this top corner is the last bit I stitch, so that I basically don't lose my place. So I'm standard with me, I'm cross-countrying where I've got the colour and the thread. I'm cross-countrying it like I do. But there's the end of the moon and there's the nose of the dragon. And this morning I hopped on a Facebook group I rather like, the Extreme Cross Stitch Challenge group, which I'm doing my 1% a month, which I was doing anyway, so it's kind of fun. So I'm in there. And I've updated that I finished my October. I'm being really good. I'm not stitching on it today. I'm not going to start November stitches until November. So yeah, I hopped on that and updated for the month and started the November. I've already posted in the November thread to say I'm up for November, because I'm up for every month on that one. And then I noticed that there was a new challenge, 30,000 in a month. Start and finish a project that's doable, 15 to 30,000 stitches, full project start to finish. So I've just hopped on and gone, I'd like to get 30,000 stitches in the month into this, and if I can do that, that would be brilliant, because all in it is 103,000 stitches, this dragon, but I'm not stitching the background because I'm using because I can show you this is, that is 310, and you can see where my placement is there with that light bit. You can see it's going to be covered, but all the bright green there is 46,000 stitches of black. There's no way on hell I am stitching that, hence the midnight blue blotchy blacky fabric. So I'm not stitching 46,000 stitches, so it's actually going to work out at 57,000 stitches, which is much better, isn't it? So I will stitch some of the black that turns up actually in the dragon, but it's just all the background I'm not stitching. It's not, I'm not in full coverage fanatics or anything with this, it's just for me without the background. So that's pretty cool. and you can see how much I've done. There's his nose, and there's the end of the moon, and there's the end of his nose. So I've done 2,250 stitches so far. So if by the end of November I am anywhere near 32,000, I'll be over the moon. It is a moon. But it's something to shoot for. So I think for November I'm going to work on this. It'll be about half done if I do that, won't it? And that'd be great for a month, for a big piece. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to do 7,220 something stitches in this to give me a bright pop of colour. That's, if I do 300 stitches a day in my treasure hunt bookshelf, I'm on track. So someday I'll do 500, someday I'll do 200, but if I can keep myself on track, I'm good. And in the car, this opening gambit, if I can get anywhere, I mean, could I get 10% done in November? Could I get to 90%? I'm going to have a punt. See if I let's set. I'm going to set goals. 7% on this, 7,200 and something. I'm going to try, and if I don't manage it, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to break myself doing it. If I can put anywhere close to 30,000 stitches into this in a month, I'll be over the moon. Literally. So I'm currently at 37,000 stitches there, which I can do in a month, as long as I get days off. And I have a mere, let me just find him, up to opening gambit. There he is. I'm at 21.5 and finished is 26. So I've got 4,500 stitches to finish this. So if I say 2,000 and a bit, that gives me a goal of 40,000 stitches this month, which is 1,100 stitches a day. Am I right? Am I wrong? I can do that, can't I? We'll see. We'll see. I've done 60 stitches so far today, but I'm recording, so other than that, I'm making loads of stuff. Not this video. I'm going to try and be back in a week. Not this video, but next video I'm going to have a giveaway. I can't find my pliers. If I'd found my jewellery pliers, I would have a giveaway this week. Can't find them. They're down there somewhere. I refuse to buy new ones. I have to find the ones I have. But as soon as I find my jewellery pliers, I will have a giveaway. I made blink and you'll miss them bunnies. They're furry bunnies. I've got a handful of them. I think there's 19 of them, 18, 19 of them. And I'm very busy making little Fimo polymer clay things, needle minders. And this isn't baked yet, which is why I'm being really careful with it. I'm obviously going to squash it before it gets baked. And I've got a new system set up to make my stamp needle minders. So I've found a whole pile of Christmas ones, and I've made a whole pile of new ones with my new method, which in fact doesn't involve me going up to the shed, basically, which is great because the shed is like a hazardous war zone, just about. So all's good. I haven't framed my pieces, by the way. I know I haven't. I had an unexpectedly busy week. We had a big event last week before last, and then last week Chef was off on holiday. He had his kids, so he was off. So I only got the Tuesday off myself, and I've worked every other day. But I tell you what, Sunday lunch now, doing Sunday lunch, whatever. Like a full service Sunday lunch. Okay, I did 14 plates of Sunday lunch, and the full menu was on as well, and I did full English breakfasts, which is so much more work. If you ever want to really drive a very small restaurant bananas and they do an all-day breakfast, go in. Don't have Sunday lunch, have an all-day breakfast, because it all has to be cooked there and then. Nothing can be done in advance. Like yesterday morning, I got in at 8. I got the mashed potatoes on, I got the roast potatoes on, I got the meat in, it's all there. And then when somebody orders it, you put it all together and you finish it all off, so it's perfect when it goes out. Full English breakfast, oh my god, you're starting from scratch. Yeah, that's how to really bug a really small, like a cafe or something that's got like a pub or something that's got a Sunday lunch on, and they're all geared up for Sunday lunch service. Get a full English breakfast, because that will make them crackers. Better still, order 6 right before Sunday lunch service, because that was super fun. But I'm not phased anymore. I'm not stressed. It just get on and do it now. It's like I've adjusted to it. Anyway, yeah, so I haven't had a lot of time, but my stamps are coming. So there will be a big Etsy shop update. My Etsy is here. If you'd like to go and like my shop, there will be an update, and that's extraordinarily helpful for me. But I made one of these, and I want to make lots of these, but I made one of these. I do not have big hands. Can you see this little guy around this bottle? Right? So he is polymer clay. He is not baked, so he's currently very flexible. I'm being very careful with him. Eric is doing his best to knock him off. So I've got one there, and I've got a part done one there, and these I'm going to finish with some resin in the jar, because it's a little glass jar. I bought a box of them. I have a box of very, very small glass jars that come with stoppers. Now I can put polymer clay around these, because you can bake glass obviously, so it can go in the oven, and that will permanently fix that to that. And then once that's baked, I can then put some resin. I'm going to put some resin in and try and swirl it, and then set the resin. And that's just going to have an eye in the top, which can either be a scissor fob, or I'll probably put a little necklace cord in it as well, because that would be really good. And I know wearing glass is possibly not the best plan, but I thought if I had that, I would wear it. Obviously I have it, it's mine, but you know what I mean. I would want to wear it. Equally, you can hang your scissors from it, but so I'm being very careful with him. He needs to go in the oven. But that's the sort of thing I'm making now. Anyway, guys, I've probably been blabbling too long. So next week there'll be a giveaway, and then there'll be a shop update. So I'll be wanting some comments next week. Not this week. Don't worry about commenting this week. If you watch me or give us a watch, give us a thumbs up. That's brilliant. That helps massively. Yeah, I think I'm done. So I've got 3 clear projects to work on. And you know what? I'll be back in a week or 10 days, and I'll be like, I've not touched any of them. I've done this instead. And if that happens and I want to stitch on something completely different, I will. I am no hard and fast rules, because that just gives me anxiety. My anxiety comes up and strangles me. I don't know if anyone else has that sort of anxiety, so I have to try and avoid that at all costs, because it makes me panic and it feels like it's coming to get me, the anxiety. So I've tried to just cut as much of that out as I can, and anything that doesn't make me feel like that is great. So if I don't want to do 30,000 stitches in that piece, I won't. Yes, I've joined the thread, I've joined the group, I might try and do it, but I'm not gonna make myself crazy reaching a goal that doesn't matter. That's how I'm trying to be. Gives me a bit of calm. Right, guys, happy Halloween to anyone who does Halloween. We have 3 pumpkins which are not yet carved and might not get carved, but we will have pumpkin soup, or possibly pumpkin pie. We'll have pumpkin something. The pumpkins in this house get processed and eaten. They don't get carved and put out. They get carved, and the next day they're in the oven roasting off. So I run a food system here rather than a decoration system. So yeah, other than that, we don't really do Halloween. We live too far into the wilds to get anybody chapping on the door for trick or treat. So that's good too, because that always made me very anxious. And yeah, not much else going on, which is good by me. I'm hankering after knitting. I did just this morning find my weird jumper, which I'm casting off. I'll try not to knock this off. Oh, I probably will. It's on a... it fell out of the bag. It's on a dodgy balancing system of DMC boxes, my tablet. Got it. got it right. So, oh, Christmas stickers. I might need them. Oops, drop stitches. I'll fix that. Anyway, so, oh, sorry, I have to fix drop stitches. I was just about to say goodbye then as well, wasn't it? And I've started showing you something else. Oops, that one's dropped a bit far down. Oh no, it's only one. So I'm actually casting off. Let's just pick that one back up. I have started casting off the bottom of the sweater. But now I've picked it, now I've found it, it got buried. Oh, wow! Holy smokes! It really isn't that bright in real life. It is. This is quite a muted cream. It's not bright white. Oh, crikey, that looks bright. Wow. I'm going to take your eyeballs out with this when I finish it and wear it. You're all going to be, they glow. Anyway, so I am casting off, which of course is the wrong way up. It is of course that way up. So not too long, just enough. I always wear a base layer anyway. It's not like my tummy's ever going to hang out. And then I will find double pointed needles instead of using magic loop, because I don't really like magic loop. I prefer to knit on double pointed needles. I'll find the right size double pointed needles. I've got a box of them. I got Dead People stuff and there was a whole selection of double pointed needles, so I'll have the right size. And then I'll knit down a sleeve to the perfect length, which is there on me. I have small hands but long arms, hence a hand knitted jumper's perfect. Anyway, my searing jumper will be done by and by. Now I've relocated it. I've got 2.5, I think, of these left. I mean, look, the colourway's magical, but he's stripy. But the arms, of course, will probably only have 3 stripes on them because it's self-striping. To go all the way around there means you get a stripe every 1.5 inches. Yeah, about every 1.5 inches you get a complete colour change. But when you do the same yarn on a tube that size instead of a tube this size, it's probably only going to have like 2 stripes. We'll find out. We'll find out. So I'm going to crack on with that. But 3 projects, maybe not. We'll see. I'll try and be back soon. I'm going to find my pliers. I'm going to fix my little, basically the bunny. I've made a little bead dangle. So I need my pliers to join the bunny to the bead dangle and the bead dangle to the lobster claw. And then we're having short scissor fobs about yon long. But I can't give away something that I'm not holding. So I will finish it, and then next week there'll be a giveaway, and then after that a shop update. Fingers crossed. Right guys, I will see you soon. Look after yourselves. Video's gone longer than I was expecting because I talk too much. I'm still looking at the wrong corner, so I'm ever so sorry if I've been looking. I'm looking kind of weirdly bozz-eyed over there, when actually I'm looking. If I look there, I'm looking right at you, which is what I should have done all the way through. But I'm looking over there. I'm really sorry. I'll see you really soon, and happy stitching, happy Halloween. We roll straight through to Bonfire Night here in the UK, which is the 5th of November. And then we in the UK, slippery slope straight down to Christmas. I know you have Thanksgiving in America to lump over before Christmas. We just go from Bonfire Night straight down to Christmas. Kids went back to school today. Austin is home because he has got a teacher training day, extra day off school. So I've dropped the girls. He's downstairs. I've got a day with my boy, which is nice, which is why I'm sitting in my bedroom doing a recording, obviously. I'm going to go down to him now. Right, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.